Hello and welcome to Alive this morning. I am Tante Azal. Today is the 27th of October 2023. I don't want to say thank God it's Friday. It is a normal thing. Of course, we have to thank God that it's Friday. And another thing again, I don't want to say I am too excited because today we are going to be discussing something really, really interesting that, everyone is talking about. And I have with me Mariam Oke in the studio. Mariam, you're welcome.
Good morning,
Good
Tante.
morning, Mariam.
My delectable Tante.
Welcome to the show. And of course, we have our own very Mr. Akin Fatunke in the studio with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Thank you
sir.
very much, Tante. Thank you very much, Maria. And thanks for
Welcome,
balancing
welcome.
so that, the men will not be thinking that it's all women affair. Thanks for balancing and putting me as a balancing factor.
You're
Good
welcome,
morning,
sir.
Nigeria.
Of course, good morning, Nigerians. And today, I feel, I don't know, I am really ready today to take on the newspaper review. I don't know why, because, the headlines are really, really,
Hot.
they are really hot this morning. And I'm like, what is happening? But it is time for us to take our newspaper review, and we are going to be starting with the Punch newspaper. And on the bold headline, it says, congratulations, Mr. President, Supreme Court, on your Supreme Court victory. And on the window story, it says, Tinubu triumphs after 171-day battle. That sounds funny, but it is actually true. It is not easy. It has not been easy. And under it, you'll see Nigerians present wish list of president after Supreme Court victory, and that will be on page 3 on the Punch. And you also see judgment shocking dash Nigerians' expectations, say PDP Labour Party. And when you go down, you will see His Excellency Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Congratulations, Your Excellency. And that is what we have on the Punch. We'll go straight to Vanguard.
So,
Mariam.
away from the congratulatory messages on
Mm.
the Vanguard newspaper this morning, I have something from the EFCC's page, and that is contracts. Contracts procurement frauds cost Nigeria 2.9 trillion naira in 3 years. That's on the page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper, and that's coming from Olukoyede, the new EFCC boss. I have also on insecurity. Gunmen kill 15, kidnap 14 in Benue, Zamfara, Nasarawa, and Lagos. I have Femi Aribisala. God kills before he makes alive. And that's on the page 21. Unilorry lament as scammed students commit suicide. I've been hearing and reading stories of students, losing their lives. I hope the government steps in very, very fast. Olufason, well, this is a mini quote from him. He said, to be sure, there is a valid argument for scrapping the fuel subsidy. It is expensive, but why should Nigeria suffer for their government's failure to make the country's refinery work? Also have NNPCL appoints Shoneye Chief Communications Officer, and that's on the page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. CAN, that's can JNI disagree with Babachi for labeling APC Islamic Party. Udenwa Ihedoha, others shown PDP campaign flag off in Imo State, and you can find that on the page 11 of the newspaper. Now, straight up to entertainment, I have Nollywood actor Mr. Ibu seeks assistance over health challenge. Despite the fact that we've heard of stories of people, footing the bills already, but I don't really know why this is coming out. And lastly, I have Wike extends deadline for mosque and churches over Abuja plots revocation order, and that's on the page 9 of the newspaper this morning.
All right, going straight to the Guardian newspaper this morning. The window story here says Senate investigates non-implementation exit of IOCs, and that you'll see on page 3. And the bold headline says Tinubu laughs last as Supreme Court affirms victory, and that you'll see on page 6. And when you come to page 30, you will see court quashes proscription on IPOB as terrorist group. And on page 8, you will see varsity students nabbed for killing dismembering girlfriend for ritual. We have been hearing stories like this, and I wonder why things are happening this way. But we have to just, let's see or let's hear how the investigation is going to go and if justice is going to be served, because someone has to be a scapegoat. These things are repeatedly happening. We need the government to make sure that people who have been doing this thing are being, punished the right way. And still going, we have on page 10, Ethiopia had no interest in Nigeria air, but for federal government's pleas to help. And that is on page 10, as I've said. And that is all I have here on the Guardian newspaper this morning. We'll go straight to Tribune.
And from the Nigerian Tribune this morning, we have on the burning surface, Tinubu victorious, says Supreme Court did justice on merits of law. And that's on the page 12 of the newspaper. I have also subsequently, I have courts dismisses Atiku and Obi appeals. And I have congratulations, Mr. President, on your Supreme Court victory. I think this is a congratulatory message coming from one of the High Chief Government, Ekpo alias Tumpolo. Yes, the Ibe Ebidowell of Ijaw Nation and chairman of the Tentita Security. So he's congratulating the president.
Of
That's
course.
just what I have on the burning surface.
All right, and on the Nation this morning, the window story says, from Wiki, of course, I will support President again. No regrets for my actions. And that you will see on page 5 on the Nation newspaper. And Ayedatiwa apologizes to Akeredolu. And that you will see on page, 6. And, we have been hearing about how deputies and governors have been having quarrels and fights, and it is public, and the next thing they come back apologizing for whatever they have done or they may have done to each other wrongly. But I feel like if you need to work together, you have to look for a way to solve issues, that it doesn't have to be out there, because people have been using people's weaknesses against them. And even Ayedatiwa has said it already, that there were people who were making the thing go more than the way it's supposed to be, and that is why he had to come back and apologize to the governor. So please, we need peace in Nigeria. And on page let's see, Alafin, 5 Oyo kingmakers sue Makinde others. Wow. On page 25, we have how blue economy will boost GDP by Oyetola. And on page 2, 3, and 4, you will see triumphant Tinubu. Congratulations, Mr. President, on your Supreme Court victory. And that has been, most of the things, or most of the newspapers that has been their headlines. And it is something that we need to congratulate Tinubu. It is not easy. 171 days of not having peace of mind, and of not knowing what is happening. All right, let's go to Daily Trust.
Daily Trust this morning, I have let's build Nigeria together. That is coming from our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Despite the fact that some people are frowning and saying the Supreme Court has not really done well. Well, we have someone in the studio to discuss that with us this morning. I have also, we are shocked, but we move on. Labour Party says, judgments disappointing. PDP. Well, wait till 2031. APC tells Atiku and Peter Obi. Verdict, a welcome relief. That is coming from the ex-president, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, and he's saying verdict, a welcome relief.
Trust me, it is a welcome relief, because so many people were on it waiting to see how this thing is going to be. And I saw, the Labour Party chairman saying they were surprised
Of course.
that, they were surprised of the outcome of the
Said we are
results.
shocked.
They were shocked. And I'm like, oh, okay, everyone is actually shocked. But we were expecting that, this thing is not forged, or these things are actually clear, and thank God that at the end, the results are out.
I just feel and ask this question every time, why should Nigerians act like they don't know what is going on in the political space? I don't think it is easy for you or for a party to unseat a sitting governor or president, especially the one who has been voted by the majority, someone who has the backing of the people, someone who's you have checked, scrutinized this man, and the court is still saying that some of your appeal or let me say things you tender are baseless. Why should you be shocked? We already know this from the start of the appeal.
We'll be going deep into the conversation, but for now, let's see what the president had to say, because the president mentioned it after the verdict. He said, let's come together and build Nigeria. We would like to see a little from what the president has after the appeal court result was out. We'll be right back.
To do more, a challenge of this nature and a future of this nature is more work and more hard work, more dedication. And just appeal to the sense of patriotism of Nigeria to have a change of mindset. Let us be positive about our country, be ready to contribute in all ways possible. There's no promise of El Dorado from day one. We're all in this boat of diversity, a member of the same family, living in the same house, but stay in different rooms. And it is important that we recognize that we have no other country but this one. So we better be committed to it, not for the sake of our own self-aggrandizement. Our commitment to the values, the creed of dedication, patriotism, and commitment to the value of this country.
Hello and welcome to Live News. The immediate past Minister of Youth and Sports Development Chief Sunday Dare, the federal government of Nigeria has taken punitive action against the secretariat. Nigerians have expressed fear over the possible shutdown of businesses and job losses.
Things are just going higher every day.
For a fact that going from here to Ombalinde before was at 300, but now is at the high side of 700, 800.
The subsidy costs us trillions of naira yearly. Such as a vast sum of money will have been better spent on public transportation, health care, school, housing, and even national security.
On Alive TV,
taking a look at events in Nigeria. And now the news in detail.
Look at the number of people he has built.
He has the capacity. And today, a historical reoccurrence is taking place right here in Jos.
You need to be involved in the voting process. Your vote counts.
Government, in spite of its lean resources, is running a welfare program for the most vulnerable in our country. We've never had that before. Welcome back. Nigeria should be competing with countries like
I am Kanti Aga.
Alive News, keeping it fresh.
Hello and welcome to Live News. The immediate past Minister of Youth and Sports Development Chief Sunday Dare. The federal government of Nigeria has taken punitive action against the sectarian. Nigerians have expressed fear over the possible shutdown of businesses and job losses.
See, things are just going higher every day.
For the fact that going from here to Ombalinde before was at 300, but now is at the high side of 700, 800.
The subsidy costs us trillions of naira yearly. Such as a vast sum of money will have been better spent on public transportation, health care, school, housing, and even national security.
All right, joining us now in the studio to, go further with the discussion, just the way I have said before we went on the break, that we will be going deep into the conversation of Tinubu's victory. And joining us now is Charles Marindoti. Charles, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, and how are the viewers are doing? Good morning.
We are all doing fine. And I would like to say congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right. And we would like to also know how you feel about the outcome of, President Tinubu's victory. Were you expecting it? What were you expecting? And right now, what is the feeling?
Thanks for the question. I was definitely expecting it, though I tried not to talk specifically about the judgment coming, because this is, to me, I believe, victory for sanity. We have an election petition tribunal for the first time where I believe the candidates never attempted to show proof that they won an election, and they are just trying to seek some only technicalities, trying to disqualify a candidate. I've never seen any election petition tribunal in the history of Nigeria, and I even went back as far back as the Awolowo's, contention in the 60s and the 80s and the 70s and 80s, and I've never seen one where the sole route to, claim electoral victory by the opponents was basically seeking to disqualify the winner, not to prove that they won an election. I mean, when President Tinubu, supported the re-emergence of people like Oshiomhole and Mimiko in Ondo State and the subsequent ones, Aregbesola, what their case in court was to prove overvoting, was to prove that the election was rigged and everything. And we thank God we have a bimodal verification right now, and they are now trying to also rely on divas. So they believe that Nigerians should be disenfranchised because, mind you, there were some people that voted on February 18th that are no longer alive anymore. So those people who had that opportunity to shape our future, they want those people to be disenfranchised because a technology did not work. which in my own opinion, I believe while the IRF portal is good, the fact that they try to legislate it into the system, I think is wrong because, there's nothing stopping media outlets. Media outlets are allowed to be at polls. If Nigerian media outlets all across the country can organize and coordinate, they could have, what's it called? People, I've forgotten what they call them, anchors at each of the polls, whereby whatever polling unit, we know the journalist that is in each of the polling units, just like APC did. And while APC already knew ahead of time that President Tinubu had won, the media would also know ahead of time that President Tinubu had won and not have to wait for, whatever is going on in the coalition center and everything. So those are things that I feel can be done. And then the IRF portal is also there for, viewership, but the IRF portal should never have ever been a legal way to view something because computers, internet is essentially a string of computers that send information out of space and send it back to another computer. In the process of sending it up and down, somebody could have, changed things in the middle. And if they keep relying on this IRF portal, every high-stake election will be challenged technically. There's no matter how good you are, even Facebook is not foolproof. You can hack it, people hack it and download data and all of that. Your iPhone is not foolproof. So you cannot try and, maybe the people that wrote the law don't really understand how vulnerable technology is. Even the banks get hacked. The United States Reserve gets hacked. So why do you not think it's something as, high stake as a Nigerian election cannot get hacked? That technicality is something that I feel should be, taken out. The IRF portal is good for instant viewership. The journalists can also be there to view. What's stopping people from uploading something that is wrong on the IRF portal? If that is it, there's a lot, So to me, I believe in general, to go away from the IRF portal thing, I believe in general this is the victory for sanity, and the president can now focus squarely on the job that he has been, asked to do, which is change our fortune for the future. And I want to assure Nigerians that the things the president is doing right now are not even things that he himself will live to benefit in full. He's doing it for our generation, for us to work on, for us to build on, because it's a long journey to prosperity. We are not going to start fixing the decadence that has existed for over 60 years in just 2 terms,
Okay.
It has to be a long way. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm happy that, the president has definitely won.
All right. Marinda, we have another analyst in the studio with us. And I want, before I ask you the main question I want you to answer, I will want him also to talk about, what you feel, on the victory or on the president's victory.
Naturally, a victor needs to be acknowledged and taken for exactly what is it, congratulations. And the loser also needs to have some acknowledgement that, I participated. It can always be another day. But my own enthusiasm is a bit doused from the run-up, like Maridoti was trying to say there, run up to all the things that we saw. You asked him if he was